So the sun is very high up. And I'll explain you why the sun is very high up. Hello there. So the reason why the sun is very high up is because it goes through a phase. When it goes through a phase during the summer, the sun reaches its northernmost part of the earth, which is above the equator, and on some summer June 21st, it hovers above the Tropic of Cancer. And Tropic of Cancer, and then we see it is at its northernmost part. And then eventually it will migrate back towards south, but it will still go higher in elevation or furthest in distance. And on July 3rd, it will reach a phenomenon called the aphemorrhine. Aphemorrhine is when the sun's at its furthest point of Earth, or the highest point of Earth. That's why I see from North America the sun is extremely high up and is over my head and at such an elevation. And the reason is why that because the sun is at its furthest distance from Earth. And then eventually it will go migrates towards south, and it will reach fall, or for the ones that live south of the equator, it's spring for them. And we call that the spring and fall equinox. And this is when the sun is directly above the equator, the equatorial line, right on the middle. And then eventually it will keep going more south, migrating more south. And on winter, on December 21st, it will reach its southernmost point, which is hovering over the Tropic of Capricorn. And Tropic of Capricorn is at its southernmost point. And then eventually it will migrate back towards north. And on January 3rd, it will reach at its closest distance, or the lowest point, and this phenomenon is called the periphermilion. And periphermilion is definitely at its lowest point, and then it will go back up north, and it will do the same cycle over and over again for every single year, the same exact cycle. The sun comes from east to west every day, and from summer to winter to summer, it will do the same cycle. And that's how all the suns work. And that's the main process of the sun's path compared to Earth. Why we see extremely high towards summer and why we see extremely low towards winter. And that's the physical process of the sun. So there you go.